There's no way to be a perfect mother and a million ways to be a good one. Hi, mommies and friends. I'm Gabriela, but you can call me Bree, and welcome back to another Mommy Motivation Monday. To all of my newbies on Mommy Motivation Mondays, I just hop on here. I give you some quick mommy motivation, let you know that no matter how alone you may feel right now, you're never alone, and there is always somebody that can relate to what you're going through. So, how was our week? Good? I hope it was good. Honestly, guys, I had a pretty rough week. Christopher had some things going on that kind of caused us to not have the best week, but just a part of being a mommy. So we got through regardless. So just to give you guys like a little backstory of why my week was so rough. Christopher was getting in trouble in school, and when you send your kids out into the world, you really hope that like they'll go out and they will be these perfect children who show, oh, I was raised right, but they're kids. And I have to tell myself that quite frequently because a lot of times I'm like, Christopher, what in the world? Get it together. And then I have to remind myself, like, he's 6 years old. He doesn't have life figured out. I mean, hell, I'm 26 and I don't have life figured out. So he got in trouble at school and he was really beating himself up. And he was just like, Mommy, I can't do this. Like, I feel so bad. And I was just like, Bub, I get it. I really, truly get it. There's been so many times that I felt like I wasn't good enough, or I felt like I couldn't keep going because I was just so tired of feeling neglected, rejected, feeling like you were worthless, you messed everything up. And to see my 6-year-old sitting there feeling that same way, it broke my heart. So we kind of had to have us a little discussion, and I want to tell you guys what I told him. Sometimes our friends, our family, they make us feel like we are no bigger than an ant. They make us feel like we're worthless, like everything we do is wrong, like we can't get anything right. But as long as you're trying your hardest and you're giving it 110%, bump what they say. Because guess what? That's just a part of life. We all have our ups and our downs and our rights and our wrongs. Like the quote said, there's no way to be a perfect mother, but there's a million ways to be a good one. And I want to talk about some of those ways. So, step 1 to being a good mother, show up. Okay, that's it. How easy is that? All you got to do is show up. Listen, I have battled bipolar 1 disorder, depression, anxiety, and insomnia since my son was 2 years old. And crazy thing about it, that kid loves me just the same. If you ask anybody, Christopher says I am the best mother to ever walk the earth. And I don't feel like it some days. And mommies, I know some days you don't feel like it. Honestly, probably most days. You feel like I'm trying my hardest to be the best mother I can be, but it's just not enough. But I promise you, if you're showing up, your kids think you're the best mother ever. That's step 1 to being a good mother, though. Step 2, don't beat yourself up. And that's probably one of the hardest ones. Because as a mom, you want to be perfect. But there's no way to be perfect. There was only one perfect man who walked this earth, and none of us are him. It's possible to be a good mother without being a perfect mother. Showing up. Don't beat yourself up. Children feed off of the energy that they feel from their parents. So if you're constantly beating yourself up and you're constantly downing yourself and you're constantly telling yourself that you're not good enough, you're teaching your child to tell themselves that they're not good enough. And that's coming from somebody who is going through it currently. I spend a lot of my time so upset with myself and so frustrated, feeling like I'm not a good mother, that I don't realize that when I say those things, it rubs off on my child. Speak life into yourself, because speaking life into yourself is speaking life into your children. I know that it's hard. I know that there's days where it's like, I done spoke life into my child. I done spoke life into me. I done spoke life into our situation. And it seems like nothing is changing. Trust me, when I tell you I feel it, I feel it. A lot of you don't know, but I moved back to Johnson City with my parents in 2021. And it was a challenge I moved back with. my now husband, and we were staying with my parents, and then we stayed with my papa. And it's just been a lot of things that happened in between there. And now that I'm in the position to be able to get an apartment, I can't find an apartment. And that within itself is so stressful. I spend a lot of my time beating myself up and feeling like I haven't accomplished anything, feeling like I'm not a good mom because I don't have a house for my child. We're staying with my parents. And then my therapist told me, you do have a house for your child. And I was like, no, I don't. She was like, aren't your parents letting you stay there? And I'm like, yeah. She was like, there's a roof over your child's head. He could care less what roof it is. He just wants to be with his mom. And when she told me that, I had to step back and be like, wow, you know what? She's right. Christopher could care less if I bought him a brand new house or a brand old house. He just wants to be with his mom. And I'm telling you that because, Mama, I feel like there's somebody out there who listens to me who is beating themselves up, who feels like they're just not where they're supposed to be for their child right now. And I just want to tell you that you are. You are exactly where God has put you. And that is the exact position God needs you in, to be the mother that you're supposed to be for your child. Don't beat yourself up, and don't feel like you just aren't enough, because you are. I promise you, Mama, I know it hurts. I know it sucks. And as I said in my last episode, you can have a spouse and still feel this way. So don't think that this is just a single mom thing. When I was a single mother, I remember always feeling like I was the only one. I feel like there was no woman out there who had a spouse who could understand what I was going through. And then I got married. And let me tell you something. If I could talk to single mom, 19-year-old Gabriela, I would tell her, baby, talk to that married woman. Talk to that woman who's been with her baby daddy for 15 years. Talk to the woman who is in a relationship for 30 plus years. Talk to those women. Because when I tell you, I look at myself now and I think back to 19-year-old Bree, who had just had this freaking baby, who was confused, who was lost, who was beating herself up. And I'm like, girl, you should have talked to all of your resources, because I had so many resources. Like, I literally had so many resources, but I felt like you don't understand what it's like to beat yourself up and to feel like you're not a good mother because it's just you. But they do. Like, literally, just because they have spouses does not mean a thing. Have you ever met a child who is just a mama's child? Let me tell you something about Christopher. Christopher is a mama's boy through and through. He had a rough night tonight. And so I record these on Sunday nights and they publish on Mondays. So tonight, Christopher had a very rough night. He was not able to calm himself down, and just everything was making him cry. Everything was setting him off. Everything was upsetting him. And I was just like, bub, come here. What is the problem? He was like, I don't know, Mommy. I don't know. And I was like, okay, how about this? Let's go in here and lay down. We got in the bed together. We cuddled. He rubbed my belly. He laid his head on my chest. And he was like, Mommy, I'm sorry for not being nice. I love you. And it melted my entire world. And it was in that moment that I realized that I'm his person. I am his peace. I am his calm in the storm. And you, Mama, are that for your little. I've seen so many times where it's like children act worse with their mothers because their mother is Mama. And as Christopher gets older, I realize I am Mama. Christopher goes all day long trying to hold in his feelings, trying to keep from getting angry, that when he comes home, those feelings are still there. Listen, Mama, you have probably screamed at your child this week. It's okay. You may have cursed your child under your breath. It's okay. You may have told your child no. After the 15th time of being asked to put that toy back together, guess what? It's still okay. Mama, you have got to stop beating yourself up because you feel like you're not a perfect mom. You will never be perfect. I hate to be the one to break it to you. You will never be perfect. But as long as you're getting up, you're showing up, and you are trying your hardest, you're doing a damn good job. If you're listening to this episode and you didn't listen to last week's episode, it was called You're Doing a Damn Good Job. Okay? Which leads into this week's episode. You can be a good mother, but you will never be a perfect one. And it's hard to really come to terms that, like, I want to be the perfect mother. Who doesn't? You want to be the mom that you know you got everything right. But if you get everything right, then how can you teach your kids? I'm learning to take my losses and use them as a learning moment for Christopher and for myself. Every time something goes wrong, I sit Christopher down and we talk about it. We discuss why it went wrong, what could have happened differently, and what we learned from it. And Mama, you have to do the same thing. I know it hurts and I know it's hard. Like I said, spouse or no spouse, it's hard to be a mama. It's hard to get up and know that somebody needs you. From the time you open your eyes to the time they close at night, somebody always needs you. If you're a working mother, work needs you. Your customers or clients need you. Your managers need you. Your coworkers need you. You leave work to go home and your babies need you. Your husband needs you. Your mom, your dad. You're always needed, Mama. You're always going. And it's hard. It makes it so hard to be a mama when you know that everybody needs you. But your ability to still get up and to show up, it lets you know that you are a good mama. Okay, like I told you last week, some days are going to be worse than others. Some days you're going to lay in that bed and you're going to be like, you know what? I cannot do it today. I have to lay in this bed just to keep from going crazy. But you're still a good mom. Taking time out to work on your mental health and taking time out to get your mental health together does not make you a bad mom. It makes you a better mom and it makes you a smart mom. Asking for help because your mental health is out of whack makes you a damn good mother. So Mama, please stop beating yourself up. Stop telling yourself that you're not good enough. Stop telling yourself that you're doing something wrong because, Mama, you're doing a damn good job and you are a damn good mother. Stop striving to be perfect because you will never be perfect. Jesus Christ was the only perfect man that walked this earth, and he died on the cross so that you and I could have a better life and so that we could have life after death. That is the only perfect man. Mama, you'll never be perfect. But as long as you remember to show up, there's nothing more anybody can ask of you. Our babies love us so much. I remember Christopher looked at me shortly after one of my suicide attempts and he said, Mommy, it broke my heart when you did that because I thought you didn't want to be with me anymore. And when I tell you that broke my heart, it was in that moment that I had to step back and I had to really reevaluate because he followed up and said, but Mama, you're not perfect. And it's okay to sometimes make mistakes because we're all learning. My kid is 6 and he literally told me, it's okay to make mistakes, Mommy. We're all learning. So I'm telling you, Mama, it's okay to make mistakes. We are all learning. We are learning together. And my son has grown up with me. I was 19. I was a kid. I'm now 26, and this kid has been with me through the ups and the downs and the lefts and the rights and the in-betweens. Christopher has been my best friend through my entire journey of motherhood. And I am so grateful that I have my best friend to do life with me. And Mama, when you listen to this, look at a picture of your baby or look at your baby or babies And remember, you're doing life with your best friend. Your best friend who thinks that you cannot do any wrong. So give yourself a break, mama, and know that you'll never be perfect. But just keep showing up. Keep giving all your effort. Keep reminding your babies how much you love them, how much you cherish them. And be real with them. I'm so real with Christopher. When my mental health's out of whack, I say, Bub, listen, mommy's not having a mental day. And Christopher's like, it's okay, mommy. I still love you. And he hugs me, and he will go off on about his day and come check with me later. Be real with your kids. Let them know what's going on. And let them know that it's okay. We all struggle. I hope that you're encouraged today, mama. I hope that you go out and you're great. And I hope you always remember that you have a place in this world. Your little needs you. The world needs you. I need you, mama. I thank you so much for tuning in with me and listening to Mommy Motivation Mondays. I hope that when you hop off, you go forward and remember that you are not alone. Remember, you are not perfect. You are a good mother. Continue to show up and show out and give your child that support that they deserve. That's all you can do to be the best mother that you could possibly be. Thank you so much. I love you guys to the moon and back. And I will see you next Monday. Bye.